basis that I can't see anything out of the quality window, we come down, both of us, ladies and gentlemen, there they are locked together, the two Su-26s of the Matadors, working away with that very tricky cloud base. You can see how incredibly close Steve Jones and the wings almost overlapping Paul Bonham there in the lead. Tremendous smoke, of course. This is not the old diesel that we used to use. This is environmentally friendly. Yes, it really is environmentally friendly. It's so environmentally friendly, in fact, that if it drifts over you into the crowd, you can actually rub it on your skin. You can breathe it in. It'll do you no harm at all. If you actually see it when it's prepared, it's colourless, odourless, just like water. It produces this very dense smoke, but it's very environmentally friendly. There it is. On once again. Big looping figure. Now look at this. Oh. Sideways yaw. Awesome. These are the only people in the world I've seen fly this manoeuvre, ladies and gentlemen. Steve working jolly hard there.
I must say, rendered in formation, that was very, very impressive. Remember the first time I saw a Sukhoi fly at all was at an air show in France, and I almost tripped over my bottom jaw when we left. I was so open-mouthed at it. Okay, for formation tail slides there.
Wings. Interesting thing, you'll see the undercarriage as they come past. It's a solid piece of titanium, and it actually costs more than most other aerobatic aircraft in its own right. Flying sideways now. Again, using the tremendous power-to-weight ratio of these radial engines, 360 horsepower, and one of them I know has been tweaked up to nearly 400 horsepower, and that's without supercharging. The Videnia, the basic Videnia of M14P, of course, you will see in a lot of the other Russian aircraft in the UK, such as the Yak 50s and the Yak 52s, an extremely reliable and very powerful engine. You see that little bit of a yug there, the turbulence in the air causing them to just shake a little bit. You can see Steve absolutely locked in, wingtip to wingtip. It's almost like there's a rod joining them.
It's extremely good. Paul Bonham started his flying career at White Waltham as a general dog's body, what was known in those days as a hanger rat.
Yes, a dongler. We used to call them donglers. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this upside down and split. Again, we are flying in.
Paul's been flying aerobatics since he was 17 and started displaying in 1986 for Richard Good in his Ultimate Pits. Flown over 500 public displays and also flies vintage fighters for the Fighting Collection and Old Flying Machine Company at Dunsfold.
So you can hear the growl of those Videnievs, quite different to the higher pitched, rather whiny sound that comes from the air-cooled engines of the extras, from the blades. Big paddle propellers they have on here, three-bladed, lightweight composite props. Chairways. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, these two lads could be your captain very, very soon. There we go, once again, upside down now. In there for a mirror, but not just an inverted mirror, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this, an inside-outside loop, one of the most difficult formation figures to fly. I've never seen anyone else do this in the UK but Steve and Paul. You notice that sort of bear's paw undercarriage there, slightly raked forward, makes them quite tricky to land. They always do a little skip. There again, a Cuban now, one erect, one inverted. Okay, a little bit of individual stuff there now from Steve. series of high-speed rolls, a half loop, rolling as well at the same time. That's always a tricky maneuver and a bit of a brain scrambler. And there's a Ruard tumbling forwards, having got that big yaw in first. A gyroscopic maneuver initiated by applying rudder and pitching the stick forward to get a negative snap roll.
Steve was UK freestyle champion in 1995 and overall British from the right.
Now just take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. If this isn't guaranteed to scramble your brain, nothing will. Rolling and turning in opposite directions. High-speed rolling and turning in opposite directions. Very difficult to maintain orientation. It brings a whole new meaning to the rolling circle, Melvin.
It does. I think I have Steve coming up behind him to join him. I mentioned to you privately earlier that I'd not seen this display, and I spent last night looking on the internet trying to find a display routine and couldn't find it. And I'm very, very impressed with what they're doing. It's a tremendous display.
And here they come once again. Yep, they've got a tremendous rate of climb as well, 3,500 feet a minute from that 9-cylinder radial. And there it is again, ladies and gentlemen, their signature maneuver, that sideways yaw in formation back-to-back, a mirror yaw. Very, very clever and very, very effective. Well, as you can imagine, these aircraft are very strong indeed. The normal use is plus 12 and minus 10 G. And just to remind you what that really means, if you weigh 10 stone and you pull a modest 6G, never mind all that, for as long as you're pulling that 6G, you will weigh 60 stone.
Put it another way, an 8-stone person at minus 10 weighs half a ton on their head.
Thank you, Melvin. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, another of their signature maneuvers, the inside-outside loop, flown in an echelon formation. One of the pilots, Steve, there under positive G, and Paul Bonham under negative G, where he's being pushed out.